I will just position my armhole ruler in such a way I have a smooth connection from the starting point to the 2 inches I measured forward. So, and this is going to serve for both the front and the back armhole. There is no difference. Okay, then I have this as the armhole. So after constructing the armhole, the next step is to construct the side seam. The side seam means the side of our Prophet Sutana. In constructing the side of our Prophet Sutana, this can be achieved in 2 ways. Okay, you can either just measure what you have on the chest level like so, then place it on the Sutana length line and connect with a straight ruler. So with this, there is no shaping on the waist. You will have the side of your 4-corner celestial garment on a perfect straight line downward. From the chest level, it will go down straight to the Sutana length. But if you want a more fitted Prophet Sutana, then you can reduce this measurement on the waist level before you place it on the Sutana length, which is exactly what I will be doing. What I have on the chest level in total plus the 2 inches I added is 12.5 inches here. So I will subtract I will subtract 2.5 inches away from that measurement. Then I will make use of 10 inches, or let me subtract 2 inches, then make use of 10.5 inches on the waist. So which is the exact measurement I have for the back, 10.5. On the waist I inserted the same 10.5 inches. Okay, so with this, the waist area will not be too wide. There's going to be a kind of shape on the waist area. Then I'll go to the Sutana length and insert the 12.5 inches I have on the chest level. So on the Sutana length line, I will insert 12.5 inches. Then from the waist to the Sutana length, I will connect with a straight ruler. After connecting this, then I will connect from the chest level to the waist level. I will use the straight side of my variform curve. So this is not going to give me a perfect straight line. There's going to be a kind of curvy effect by the side of the garment. So with this, I will have a classy Prophet Sutana. So guys, you can see the bodice is ready for our male 4-corner celestial garment. So this is going to work for both the front and the back. So after drafting pattern for the bodice, then I will be showing you how to draft the side extension, which is also known as the side gore. But before drafting that, I will need to add my seam allowances first on the bodice. On the neckline area, I will add 1/2 inch of seam allowance. Whichever line I choose for my neckline, I will add 1/2 inch. The measurement has to be taken forward. Whether you are taking it from here or from the 2nd or the 3rd line, it has to be taken forward 1/2 inch, following the shape of the neckline. Then on the armhole area, 1/2 inch. There is no need of seam allowance on the shoulder line because no joining on the shoulder line. Then for the side of my Prophet Sutana, I will be adding 0.75 from the chest level to the waist level. But from the waist level downward, I will add 1/2 inch because the extension will be added from the waistline downward to the hem line. So I don't need much seam allowance. So guys, now I have my seam allowances added, as I said. So now I will be drafting the extension. I have my straight line drawn out. I measured about 15 inches from the edges of my pattern so that I will have a straight line, and this line is going to serve as the center of my extension. The center. So for my extension, I'm using 8 inches for the width, and the length of the extension is going to be the measurement I have from the waist downward to the hemline. So I will go to the hemline and measure half of 8 inches. So don't forget, I said this is going to be the center. So when I'm ready to cut out my fabric, this is going to be on fold. So from the center line on the hemline of my Prophet Sutana, I will insert 4 inches. Don't forget, I told you the total wideness of my extension is 8 inches. Then half of it is 4 inches. If yours is more than 4, then you have to divide it into 2. Whatever you have as your answer is what you'll be inserting on this line. And don't forget that the higher the measurement you use here, the wider your sutana will be. If you don't want your garment to be too wide, then you don't need to use much of this measurement. So I'm using 4 inches, and I'll have my allowance of half of an inch at the same time in order to save our time. So that's 4.5 inches. Then I will come to the waistline and I will insert the exact seam allowance I added on the bodice. On the bodice here, I added 0.75. So I will place the same 0.75 on the extension line. From the center, 0.75 here. So if yours is 1 inch, then you have to make this 1 inch. If it is 0.5, then you make it 0.5. Then the next step is to connect from the waist point downward to the hemline. So guys, now I have my extension drafted out. As you can see the shape, this is the center line. This line is on a straight line, while this is a little bit slanting. So the next step is to shape the lower part of my extension. So in shaping this, I will have to extend the center line downward to meet the hem allowance line, and I will also extend this as well to meet the hem allowance line. So now that I've extended the lines, I will confirm the measurement I have on the center of my extension from the waist point downward to the hemline, and I will place the same measurement on this side, so which is the slanted side of my extension. So here I have 42.5 inches. So I will be inserting the same 42.5 inches on this side. So whatever I have left below is what I will be using in shaping the hemline. So that is the point I marked out. Then I will curve it with my curve ruler. So guys, now I have the bodies and the extension of our Prophet Sutana pattern drafted, as you can see. And don't forget, I told you the bodice is going to work for both the front and the back, and the extension is going to be on fold when I'm cutting. So I can proceed in cutting out my pattern, place this on my fabric and cut it out. So guys, now it's time to cut out my fabrics. As you can see, I have my pattern pinned together with my fabrics. When folding my fabrics, I have my fabrics folded into 4 places. I folded this vertically first, so that is why I have it on fold on the shoulder line. I folded vertically, then I folded horizontally. So as you can see, I have this in 4 places. This is 1, 2, 3 and 4, and you can see the shoulder line, it aligns together with the shoulder line I have on my pattern. So this is the neckline, the armhole downward to the hemline. So here is the center. So this is going to be the center front and the center back. Now I can proceed in cutting out my fabrics. So guys, now it's time to cut out my extension. I've pinned the pattern together with the fabrics. As you can see, this is the lower part of the extension and that is the upper part of the extension. At the upper part of the extension, which is the waist area, I took this upward by 1/2 inch so that it will not start exactly on the waist point. So I need 2 pieces of this, one for the right hand side and one for the left hand side. So after cutting this piece, I will use it as a template to cut the second piece. So when folding my fabrics, I folded this into 2, and the center, the part I labeled as the center, falls on the folded part of my fabric. So this part is going to be on fold and this is going to be the open side. So guys, that will be all on how to draft and cut a male 4-corner celestial garment, popularly known as the Prophet Sutana. Make sure you draft yours and get your pattern ready, because in the next episode I will be diving into the sewing of our garment proper. Feel free to drop your questions in the comment section in case of any challenge, as I will respond to them all. Thank you, and I will see you in the next episode. Till then, always do remember, there is no elevator to success. You have to take the stairs.